Hello and welcome back to the next session from the A4Q Testing Summit 2026. I'm very happy to welcome here Tal Per. Hi, good to have you here.
Hi, Rich. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's great that you are here. You are such a well-known person in the ISTQB area. You have over 30 years of experience in testing and all the stuff, but I can explain now hours about your experience, and you share now today your knowledge with us, which is, I'm very grateful and very curious what you will say. And your topic is Two Minds, One Mission, pairing exploratory testing with a GenAI agent. And if you, the audience, like this speech, just go here to the QR code and scan it and vote it for the best speaker and best presentation award. And also, please use the chat for asking your questions that we can deal with them at the end of the stage. And now I go away and the stage is yours, Tal.
Thank you very much, Richie. One of my favorite approaches for testing is exploratory testing. As a tester, I get to go beyond the limits of the requirements and investigate areas in the system that are not considered as a given in a test basis. And today I'm going to present how to maintain the benefits of exploratory testing while using GenAI agents. Let me first introduce myself. My name is Tal Per. I'm an Israeli living in Norway for many years. I've been working in testing for 30 years and now 3 months. Started in February 1996. I started as a tester, became a test manager, and for the last decade, I've been working as a consultant and trainer of software testing. Today, I'm with Grove Software Testing, one of UK's leading training providers and training course material providers. Over the years, I've also been active with ISTQB. I was a member of the executive committee for 6 years, and currently I am the exam working group chair. One of my first lessons as a tester was that systems will always have bugs, no matter what we do. And our job as testers is to mitigate the risks of bugs interfering with systems, operations, and impacting the user experience. I learned that user experience is the most important thing, because even if we think that the system is functionally working well and we don't find any critical bugs in it, if the users are not happy with it, if it doesn't serve what the user needs, even if they find minor bugs sometimes, then they're not happy with it and we will not earn the money from it. But since we can't find all the bugs, we definitely can't find them with the tests based on the test basis. The software development environment has undergone a profound transformation over the years. When I started working as a tester, the V model ruled the world. And although many companies today still work with the V model, the world is leaning towards agile and DevOps practices. Those approaches emphasize speed, emphasize continuous delivery and automation, and lots and lots of automation. In the syllabus that was published yesterday from ISTQB about DevOps, we write that we want to automate everything. I don't think we can automate everything, but that's not a topic. We talk about the fact that these approaches have shifted the focus to rapid incremental delivery. And then while we're still trying to control this revolution, we now have AI-driven tools that grow exponentially. And they enter the pipeline and they promise better predictive insights and efficiency gains. So what do we do with all this automation that overcome our environment? I find myself asking, where's the human ingenuity? Is there still a place for humans in development process and mostly in testing process? Because we're talking about testing here. I have a friend that says, absolutely yes. And the more we use AI to write our requirements, to write our code, the more we need the human eye to test and review everything. Again, another topic. We'll focus on how we actually work with AI today. Now, funny thing, I'll start with a statement. Automation doesn't find bugs. Automation excels at executing known tests, things that we already tested before. making sure we don't break anything, making sure the system does not regress. That has always been a major task for automated tests, but automation doesn't find the bugs. Bugs found using automation are only, I say only, regression bugs, where development has broken something that worked well before. So how do we find bugs? We test, and lots of tests. Now, in a paper written by Ed Allen and Brian Newman, as a chapter in the book Experiences of Test Automation, they showed that 8% of bugs are found during retesting when we verify the fix of bugs. 24% of the bugs are discovered using manual scripted tests where we sit and write test cases based on the test basis. Exploratory testing finds over 58% of the defects, and only 9% of defects are found by automated tests. So what do you understand from this? In my opinion, it shows that exploratory testing is the most effective approach for finding bugs. So if you're new or just don't remember, here's a quick reminder of what exploratory testing is. James Buck defined it as simultaneous learning, test design, and test execution. We don't have pre-designed test cases, and we generate test ideas as a response to the system behavior. It falls under reactive testing if you look into ISTQB's foundation syllabus. In a world dominated by automation, I would say that exploratory testing remains a cornerstone of effective testing. It finds bugs. And why does it do it? Because it's done by a human. Human can adapt, human learns, human uncovers the unexpected. And while automated tests require detailed scripts, exploratory testing requires imaginative approach. It all depends on what you think and what comes up into your mind. It thrives on curiosity and responding to real-time feedback. And it's very flexible. And that's a human thing. Now I'll be a bit of a geek and I'll show you the enterprise. Why do I show the enterprise here? Because when I think of implementing exploratory testing, it takes me back to my childhood when I first watched Star Trek. In Star Trek, they went all across the galaxy. And just like in Star Trek, exploratory testing takes us to the extreme. If I be real cheesy, with exploratory testing, the tester can go where no one has gone before, just like Captain Kirk and the other crew members on board the Enterprise did. And while automation is essential for regression and repeatability, it cannot replace human ingenuity. Exploratory testing leverages human ingenuity, targeting high-risk areas, challenging assumptions, and exposing vulnerabilities. So let's just dive into it and see how we do it. One way to run exploratory testing is to pair with a colleague. One is driving the test, actually controlling the keyboard and the mouse, and the other one directing tests, throwing out ideas and monitoring the response of the system, and together communicating. They work well. We have two minds, two sets of eyes investing in the system. I use this approach a lot with my teams, and I help our clients today implementing this approach. I think it's very efficient, very effective way of finding bugs and working together. But what if instead of working with a colleague, we work with a GenAI agent, replace a colleague with a GenAI agent? Can we still run exploratory testing in a way that can say we are doing pair testing? Now, many people think that, oh, but what happens to our colleague? Will we have to fire someone? Because that's what many people fear today, that AI will replace them. But in our case, our colleague can take another agent, run another pair testing with a GenAI agent, and now we expand the coverage of our testing. Yesterday, Pablo Garcia said that here on one of the speeches here, that AI will not replace us in the near future, and I tend to agree with that. Still, a long way before we have AI that will control us. So before we dive into how we do this, you may ask, okay, which AI should I use? Which agent should I use? We have Copilot and Claude and ChatGPT and Gemini. I would say the one you're used to, the one you're most comfortable with, the one you may have a license with, maybe through work. Personally, I use Copilot and use Claude, but I also work with ChatGPT. Mainly, I try to compare responses. I get a response from Copilot and I put it to ChatGPT and say, what do you think about it? And it's like putting them into battle. In the ICQB exam working group, we implement the ChatGPT agent to review sample exam questions, that we develop internally, and it works well. So whatever you feel is good for you, whatever works for you, even if it's an agent that is created at work, use that one. All are good for this. Okay, so we do that. How does it work? AI agent can contribute to testing in multiple ways. Okay, it brings a breadth of ideas suggesting diverse probes, edge cases, alternative paths you might overlook. It is great at creating synthetic data sets for boundary and negative tests. It is great at logging the actions and actually serving as a scribe, as we will see in the next slides. Document everything that happens, observations, hypotheses in real time, produces clear evidence for debriefs. Remember, at the end of the exploratory testing session, we want to debrief the other members of the team. And if we get something that is logged, and we didn't have to log it ourselves manually, then it's a great relief. It can also help us challenging assumptions and propose counterfactual scenarios. We don't sit idle all this time. We don't just look at the screen and say, okay, you work. We need to set the focus of the charter, set the focus of the risk that the test session should cover. We need to apply domain knowledge that maybe the AI agent is not trained for. So we tell them what to do, where are the boundaries. We also applied ethical judgment, making sure that data privacy and confidentiality are kept. And we validated the finding against the oracle and the business context. So pair testing is working with one person driving the tests while the other suggests ideas. How does it work with GenAI agent? A few options. You can be the driver, human driver. You explore the system while the AI suggests the next probe, the risks, the data to use. This is best, maybe extremely important, where human judgment is critical. For example, healthcare clinical decision support system, where treatment can directly affect patient's life. The AI will not be skilled enough to make this decision. They can suggest ideas. We as humans need to check those ideas and see whether they're right or wrong. We can have the AI driver, where the AI writes the scenarios, data sets, quick scripts, and the testers review those and execute the tests. Tester also judges whether the expected results are reasonable and based on a true test oracle. Of course, we can ping pong between the two. Start with the AI, or you as a tester raise an idea for a test, run the test, see the results, and then the AI refine the test based on the test results. And as always, shadow scribe. The AI will run the test. Sorry, you run the test, while the AI logs the results. Apologies. Log the observation, timestamps. Maybe you upload screenshots, recordings. Everything is documented by the AI. The AI is great, but it's a great tool. So it's a powerful tool, but still needs human oversight to make sure relevance, ethics, and risk prioritization. Pairing with AI works best when you create a structured session while making it flexible. And this is based on a test charter that defines the boundaries of the session, or we drift into chaos. As we'll see next how the charter is defined. We define the ethical guidelines, making sure the test keeps data privacy, confidentiality, transparency, and compliance. Before starting the session, we want to make sure that the session is kept professional, because AI agents are very good to our ego. They are great at agreeing with everything we suggest and boost our ego with, oh, that's a great idea, or your insights are brilliant. It happens all the time. And sometimes, even if we contradict ourselves, I actually try that. I gave an idea to the AI, and it replied, and then I gave a contradicting idea, and it actually said, oh, your idea is brilliant. Like, what is true here? So I got an idea to start a session with something like, in all your responses, focus on substance over praise, skip unnecessary compliments, engage critically with my ideas, question my assumptions, identify my biases, and offer counterpoints when relevant. Don't shy away from disagreement, and ensure that any agreements that you have is grounded in reasons and evidence. And this was suggested by Jordan Gibbs in a great online article called ChatGPT is Poisoning Your Brain. Look it up. Okay. Here's an example for a test charter. We see the mission statement, what we aim to learn, where to focus, and the time frame. Time frame is important, so we don't overrun and we don't spend too much time on the thing. Using such charter keeps both you, the tester, and the AI agent aligned on purpose and scope. And this charter is not different than the charter I will use when I run exploratory testing by myself, or when I work with a human colleague on a human pair testing. The most important thing with working with AI is being effective in our communication. We have to be clear and with purpose. The AI agent needs context, needs constraints, needs to know what we expect to get that will be valuable for us. And for that, we need prompts. We need great prompts, because if the prompts are vague, then we will get generic ideas that will waste our time. An accurate prompt will give you actionable suggestions aligned with the test charter. Here are some examples. We start by preparing the AI agent for the session. Okay, telling the agent what is the role, priorities, describe the product, the context of the product. In this case, we have B2C e-commerce checkout with multiple coupon combinations. We show the boundaries. In our case, we don't have real data. We need synthetic data sets. What we expect, deliverables. And important to tell the agent to be concise in their answer. Agents tend to answer very thoroughly, long, and actually sometimes repeating what they said in previous questions. So you ask a question, they answered. You ask for clarification, they answer again, and give you the examples they gave you in the previous action. And that's a long thing to document. So we don't want it. So we want them to be concise. Then we start, okay, here's the charter. Here's what we know the weak spots are. Here's what we ask you to propose, and the format. Very clear. Mid-session refocus. We started running the tests. We found a couple of issues. Now we want to investigate those issues. So suggest the next 3 tests that maximize learning about these 2 defects, including a hypothesis, why it might fail, and evidence to capture. What do you need me to capture? And this could be based on what we expect to deliver into the bug report. Also, challenge the assumptions. Okay. Do not forget to ask what the assumptions that the AI agent based their suggestion on. You know the assumptions, you know what they're thinking, so you know whether the test oracle they give you is good or bad. Okay, and always function describe. Everything you say, say either orally or type, should be documented. So at the end, you can have a report to give to your colleagues or to present to the customers. The pair testing session with the AI agent should progress the same way a human pair testing session progress. Human tester communicates with the AI agent and get a response where the AI agent raises ideas and logs findings and issues. The previous slide introduced the prompts. Here we have a snapshot where the prompts are a bit different because the way I started working with the AI is communicating directly with it. So this is the first thing I do, right? Give the context. We are testing an e-commerce checkout with split payments, multiple coupon combinations, and explaining what the latest release included. AI confirmed, suggested the risk, and tell us what they're going to do. And then, okay, confirm. Always confirm, give feedback to the agent because they learn and they keep focus. So confirm. Charges to explore interactions. And that's what we're trying to achieve. Okay, now we run the first test, and this is the description of the test. And the agent suggests, an oracle suggests the expected results. Now, it didn't work as we wanted, and we found a problem. AI immediately raised a hypothesis, logging the finding, but we want more information. So we want to understand what to capture and what we tell the agent to capture. So now we have all the information we need to report the defect. Now, this is only a part of the entire session with the agent. I didn't want to bring everything here, but it's a long one that we have. Okay. From my experience, the conversation is very useful. Okay. As long as we keep our input to the system focused and relevant, that way the agent learns what you need, learns to give you the results that you need. Alas, like any other system, it's important to be aware of the risks and pitfalls because it's not perfect. Earlier today, Rick Marcellis challenged the idea of whether there's intelligence in AI intelligence. I also tend to challenge that because the definition of intelligence is not exactly what we get from the AI. But let's stick with AI and with intelligence and see what are things we need to fear from. Hallucinations. AI tends to suggest unrealistic scenarios and incorrect assumptions. They are known for using fake data and fake research. Last year, in the United States of America, the Minister of Health, the Secretary of Health, which is a big opposer for what's it called? Never mind. Inoculations. He brought a report to the Senate, and he said, quoted a few researchers there, and some journalists went and checked those researchers, and apparently they don't exist. The entire report was written by AI opposing vaccinations, and it brought researchers that prove that vaccinations are bad, but these are not real researchers. And the same can happen with you trying to get input from the AI. So make sure you treat the input from the AI as ideas, not as facts. Always validate those ideas. Scope drift. AI may propose interesting paths, but they may be irrelevant. They're relevant for testing the application in general, but not for the charter that you're trying to test. Make sure to align the agent back to the charter and document those ideas in a later list. Like writing a prompt, refocus on the charter, identify what is out of scope, and propose tests strictly aligned with the charter itself. Over automation, again, we tend to test a lot of things automatically, and we need to prioritize automation for high risk and high impact findings. Bias, AI can create blind spots if the tester doesn't criticize their output. Ask the AI to invert assumptions or propose counter examples. And last, documentation. I already said that AI tends to write a lot of things. Make sure that the reports are concise in the exact format you're looking for, so there is no overly detailed logs. So let's say I convinced you. Where do we start? Well, start at the beginning. Don't go big. Don't try big things. Start small. Make some tests, run some tests, and learn from the responses you get from the GenAI. If your prompt works, that's great. Keep it. You can use it later. If it doesn't work, don't just throw it away. Try to fine-tune the prompt. Try to fix it, improve it, and then if it doesn't work, you throw it away. In time, you become professional, and you could build different agents that will support your work in using Markdown files. This is for professionals that know very well how to operate with the GenAI agent. That's a different topic, and we're not going to go into that here. So as I said, AI is just a tool, and human ingenuity is still the most important thing for testing, and definitely for exploratory testing. AI is a great tool, but it is a tool. Okay? It's not curious. It doesn't adapt. It can't prioritize the risk, no matter how the responses you get from the AI agent. It's not really curious. It's not really learning. It's only sorting your responses in the model that it is trained with. And for all of this, to be curious, to adapt, to be flexible, we still need a human mind. AI amplifies the human tester, but it doesn't replace it. We have to work together. So thank you. If you need anything to learn more, feel free to contact me. Yeah. And thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Tal. So work together with the AI. So I think that's a good picture to take in mind for the future. Before we come, yeah, sure. Before we come to the questions, if you like the speech and what you learned, you can vote for this speech here via the QR code for the best speaker and best presentation award. But now let's get into the questions here. Why can't AI just let the AI agent write tests and run them?
Well, as I said, there's no intelligence in AI. And since a lot of code is now written by developers, sorry, not written by developers, but written by AI, and the requirements were written by AI. So would you trust something that was done completely by computers? I say you still need a human eye to have a look and stop and look for all the bugs. I'm not a developer, but recently I needed something for my company, and I gotta say I managed to write a very short, very small app with AI, with Claude, which was shocking to me. I have no idea what's in the code. And when developers do the same, even though they can read the code, for them it will be the same as going into someone else's code. And for us, it will be the same. If we're not participating in it, then we don't know what it actually tested. We need to be careful with that. We're still not in the place in our evolvement where AI is the same as the future robots, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Will Smith in iRobot, things like that. We're not there yet. Hopefully, I'm old enough to not be there.
Yeah, Yeah, that's true. Yeah, thank you for that answer. Tal, can I implement this without any experience in exploratory testing?
Well, it's the same as the way that I wrote the code without knowing code at all. I think that for real thing, not for the small thing I need to work, for real thing, using AI is good, but it's only good if you know how to do it yourself. The same way when we contemplated how to write questions, if it's possible to write exam questions for ISTQB with AI, the short answer is no, because I tried it and I got a very stupid questions from the AI agent. Actually, I give an example. It wrote a question where it had to write an estimate. We had to calculate an estimate of the work. It gave 4 answers. It wrote the question, gave 4 answers. None of the answers was correct because AI is working on probability. It just threw some probable answers, and only when asked, okay, can you justify your answers? Only then it noticed that it's wrong, and there's not one good answer. So you need to know what you're doing in order to use the tool, just like any other tool. I mean, if you don't know how to drive, will you trust a car that drive you anywhere? I know how to drive, I won't trust it, but it's the same thing. You should know.
Yeah.
You should know how to test. You should know how to run exploratory testing, so you can guide the machine to do the work for you. It's a collaboration. Two minds.
Yeah, 2 minds. Yeah, that's a great word. I think this was also the last question we had. So thank you very much, Tal, for participating this summit here and to share your knowledge here with the people. And for you all other, enjoy the rest of the conference and enjoy the other slots and tracks and have a good time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.